When we started this small camp, it was all about survival. Right now, it's all about more taxes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manor Lords, to Sleepy Hollow, in our glorious city that we developed with Tier 3 and a stone church in the middle of it all. Towering and a bustling market where people are trading goods, drinking ale, having a chit-chat, and of course also making a dime. And we continue right away with the town center because we can now develop more burgages. Not this one, not this one, this one, and this one here to Tier 3. As many as possible the moment we have some clothing in. Clothing really is such a strange thing. I think it needs some tweaking because at this point we have 3 tailors now focusing on clothes, and we do have enough yarn in, so processing material would be there, but it's just not coming along so nicely. Yeah, also what's coming along nicely are my logistics. We do have now 4 stables. This one here still needs some oxen that we need to order. And yeah, ordering oxen also gives me a small glance at my regional wealth, and we can see that we are rather out of it, right? There's no more money right now. The problem here are 2 things that we import, and that's of course the iron ore, which is just completely wrecking us, and also the barley. Let's have a quick look at my records because we can see it more clearly here, and I can see that barley and iron, in fact, you know, do cost me a lot. What? Sheep? I'm certainly not importing any sheep. And also the rubblestone, but the rubblestone is negligible, right, in comparison. We are selling a lot of bows, planks, yarn, and also shields. Small shields haven't been sold at the moment, which is a bit strange to me. Let's check this out real quick, because we got the small shields here. Export is there, but we have none in stock. Is that right? 6 small shield we have, in fact. So we could do something with that. Selling, hopefully, that would be one thing. The other thing is that I'm gonna lower the amount of stuff I'm importing here, right? So to 20 for the iron ore. And for the barley, I'm actually also gonna reduce it to 12 now. It's really, we really need to do this, otherwise we're gonna run out of money and eventually out of tax income, which is just important to me. I hope that with the overhaul of my farming here, you know, we do get a bit more barley in general coming in. We could also check out if we have any kind of barley left somewhere. The problem is we don't, right? It's red mostly. There is a bit of space here available that we could use. It's a bit further away from the farmhouse, but it's not entirely too far away. So let's go ahead and get me another bigger field going here that takes in most of the yellowish orange green area, and use then barley. 46%. Holy cow, that's a lot. Gonna rotate it with the other ones as well. That could be another source of barley coming in. Let's assign another family. With that, we got 8 families now in the farmhouse working. So this is really, hopefully, pushing. And about the rye, nah, there really isn't any more space. I mean, barley, you know, we got like 158 ale in right now. There's really no need to import that much barley all the time. So I think we just over-import it. And I'm gonna lower this further to 10 barley, right? Just to lower the amount of stuff that we import. Going back to Mandlach, we do have the growing town here now with the space, and I would like to actually go ahead now and use the salt deposit that we have, because this opens up something entirely new for us that we still can check out as well after all this time. Let's start with having the mining pit going here. We do have the materials. It's unfortunately really in the town center, right? So there's, I mean, let's see how far I can push it out, because it doesn't need to be inside it, right? It just needs to touch it, kind of like. So here is actually fine for me, right? That still should get the salt in so that we can build something else here, like, yeah, houses and stuff like that. Let's just check this out. We got 3 families available, 2 living space. That's all great. Lots of logs, so we can continue also with some more construction. Where should we have more houses? What makes sense here right now? Yeah, I guess we could have a bunch here. That's 3 more, and I would probably also add a bunch here. Oh, this construction site is closed? No. There you go. right? And then we have a bit of room here that I would like to keep for some more industry buildings or whatnot. And that's another 4 burgages, 3, that's another 7 houses coming in. Together with the mining pit, that was already finished, that was fast. Let's assign a family to that. And they will now start harvesting salt for us. And that is also something, once again, that I will now need to export to Sleepy Hollow. So let's check out my pack stations that we have. Rubblestone and Roughstone. Alright. Are we stuffed with wool already? Yeah, we got 48 wool in. We could... I mean, the problem is, of course, you know, like we're exporting so many valuable things to Sleepy Hollow that we get a lot of excess into Mandlach that we sell. So the result is that Mandlach gets richer and richer while Sleepy Hollow actually stays poor when it comes to regional wealth. You know, like, of course, Sleepy Hollow is way bigger, so it's more wealthy. It's providing more taxes for me anyway. By the way, speaking about taxes, now that I think about it, let's implement the land tax again to Mandlach, because we do have a good approval rating here, and I got good regional wealth that I can still tax out of this region. Fuel is fine, the tannery is fine, and we can continue exporting the heights, exporting the pelts. I mean, look at that. I'm not gonna export all of it, but 250 will be fine. Let's implement a trade route out of this. And then the leather as well that we're exporting, let's make a minimum of 40. Still want to keep some of that available. This is what we are processing in a tannery. But we are producing so many pelts that even the tannery cannot keep up with it. So there is no reason to actually do anything else. Next is now the salt. Now for the salt, we're gonna need not another pack station, by the way. I can use the pack stations we have in Sleepy Hollow, because I've been doing a small mistake here in the past, and that is I've been implementing parallel pack stations in both regions and used the same barter, right, for both of them, because I assumed that you need to have the same thing going in both regions to work. But of course you don't, because there's a family going back and forth here transporting stuff around. So you don't need to do this. You know, we already export the Roughstone and the Rubblestone to Mandlach, to Sleepy Hollow, so we don't need to do the same thing again here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna send tools, by the way, anymore. This is ridiculous. We are... I have no idea. I could, in fact, get the mortar back. You know, like I could send mortar back to Mandlach, because we're taking in the Rubblestone, producing mortar out of that. I could go with berries as well, right? And receive salt. Berries for salt, this seems like a good deal. It's not. Salt, of course, in medieval times was very expensive, so berries won't do. We would need to export way too many berries, which just makes the whole thing problematic for me. Large shields? That looks better. Let's do it. Large shields for salt. And here, I don't need to have this one active right now, because we already transport the Roughstone over. I don't need to do this 2 times. So it's all about large shields for salt now. This means my plank consumption will stay high. And of course, I still also want to export large shields. So I need to have another large shield production, a second one. And for this, we need to upgrade some houses first, because you cannot have artisans in a tier 1 building. So I need to upgrade my burgages here to get this going. Up there, we already have it working. That's the small shields we have here. And, oh, that's the large shields. And production is actually at 150 now, right? As long as we keep some planks in stock, it's fine. There is, of course, also a limit with how much you can do here, because I don't have endless planks. You know, at some point we just don't have the trees to chop. I could have another lumber industry set up here to supply all of that industry. And I think I don't want this one here, you know, this is too prominent. I don't want to have this one here, a lumber industry. But this one's fine for me. And just here, I could have a second lumber industry working, because this is an area I'm not going to use anyway, right? So we have the street going down here. It's also not too far away from anything. So let's have a crossing here going into this area. And in here, I'm going to have a forester hut, and I'm going to have my lumber camp, number 2, right? So that we get more logs out of this. And with that, I will need a second saw pit. Or we just continue transporting the logs to the single saw pit we have down there. Yeah, that could also work. It's a long distance, but we have enough oxen to make up for it. Yeah, let's also have another hitch post. Probably... Yeah, probably here. Have the stables together. So that I can start chopping down more trees. I want to keep those, that forest here, of course, for the berries. This area is just heavily used at this point, right? It's just incredible how it also changes. You have so many different... You have the bushes, the small trees, saplings, the bigger trees, and then the final trees that you can then chop down. It looks very dynamic, I think. Beautiful. And those 2 families are enough to chop it all down. What those 4 families planned, you know. So 1 lumber camp is totally fine. Alright, there is a tier 2 now. And here, let's have another joiner's workshop so that I can start processing more. Also, there's 2 tier here, 2 tier 2, that we can also change from the chicken coop to, I think, another joiner. Or more bows. Also, we need a blacksmith now that I think about it. We need the spears. Let's go ahead and get me a blacksmith going here. Yeah. Haven't done this yet. Another thing is that my fuel is not sufficient anymore, right? So we are slowly dripping down on food, on fuel. And that's even though my charcoal kiln is fully staffed and my woodcutter is fully staffed. So it's not enough anymore. So this new forest industry that we're building up over here now also gets a woodcutter. I think this might be... Yeah, we'll just see how it actually works then. Let's have the woodcutter here. And I might need a second forestry over here, right? So the forestries are kind of like the entry point, it seems. And then we have the woodcutter and the lumber camp. We need the workforce for all of this, so let's continue developing this area. That's another area now where we push burgages. How would it look the best? Yeah, this way, because it's just aligned with those. And behind that I could have a bunch more coming into this, but then we're having no more logs. Very good. That's okay. Artisan area, industry area, residential areas that we continue to grow. I love how complex it is, honestly, right? So there's so many things to juggle, and so far it all seems to be working well, except my clothes. Because that's just not possible. 0 clothes. Though we have satisfaction, right? We can upgrade some more to tier 3 now. I would like to do this. So that we develop the inner area here more and more. A second charcoal kiln is what I would like to do as well. Let's quickly check out my fuel supply, because we got 477 firewood. So we do have enough firewood, but the charcoal kiln cannot keep up with it. And of course, I'm gonna keep them together for now. Just makes the most sense to me. And let's also have another road moving in then here. Into that forest area. Okay, that blacksmith has been finished, so we can now start producing spears. And we have the option here between the spears and the pole arm. The pole arms actually cost less. No, it's the same. Yeah. They're gonna produce now the spears for us up to... Let's make 25 as a maximum. Because this is really just to replenish my soldiers here now. Spear militia. And archer-wise, we should be able to get a second archer going. Yeah, we are. Look at that. We got now full 2 archer units available. And that retinue here, by the way, we can also disband. Don't need them anymore. Logging industry comes up. Forester number 1. And we're gonna set once again the work area to have all of this here now by the border, more or less. I think if I go like this, should be fine. Then we have the logging camp now. 1 family for now. 1 family is enough anyway. to chop all of this down here. And then also the woodcutter still needs some time. I need more people, by the way. I need more people. Also medium town upgrade. That's because, yeah, we got more tier 3 buildings popping up in the center here. Getting a proper city look out of that. I love it. And the wealth is also going up again. I guess because we make more money now out of the upgrades that we have. Approval rating is fine. My treasury is fine. I don't need to tax so much. So taxes here are 10%. And for Mandlach, also gonna check this out. I'm actually gonna reduce the taxes of Mandlach again to 0 because there's not that many sources of regional wealth right now, as it seems. So we're not exporting as much as I thought. Gonna wait on that. By the way, let's order a horse for the trading post so that he can trade a bit faster. Ale is fine, though it's shrinking a bit. And we got the sold in. And this opens up now my next production chain. And yeah, for that, I'm gonna use this. I'm probably gonna get rid of this chicken coop here now. And we're gonna use a... Actually, let's also make rid of this one here. That's better looking. Get a butcher in. Where's my butcher? There's my butcher. Because the butcher can now use meat and salt to make sausage. And that's another type of food that I want to get in. For this, however, we need to have those burgages here, where people hopefully move in. And these have then an animal pen. But instead of using goats, we're now using then pigs for these areas. There's the butcher now. Yeah, doesn't look like a butcher per se, it looks like a smith. Now it looks like a butcher when you zoom in. So it looks very similar to the smith, of course. And in here we now have the option then between two things, and that is the mutton that we make out of carcasses. So I'm not entirely sure where we get carcasses from. Is it just animal surplus, perhaps? Do they work? No, they're waiting. There's no carcass, right? So this is not gonna work, but the sausage will work. Because the sausage uses then salt and pork to produce the sausage. I'm not gonna set any limits here because we don't need to. We don't need to have salt for anything else, really. And now we just need to produce some pork. And that's then my animal pens that we have. So just beside my butcher, let's also have then an animal pen. There's my next joiner that we have now. I don't want to produce wooden parts though. I want to produce large shields because we also export them. We use them for importing salt. So I need to have more of my large shields here. Alright, let's just hope that we finish now. Where's my animal pen? Oh, still building. There it is. And now we can order pigs. Right? And they provide then a strong passive yield of pork. We'll just see how strong that is. I'm gonna have 3 pigsties working now. So here, here, and here. Would make sense to also keep them a bit together, but I don't want to fiddle around here too much right now. So let's just do it like so. By the way, here we could have another one. Let's have this one. Yeah, let's have those together here. Those 3 as pigs. This one. And then order us the pigs. Should be seeing them. There they are. In the mod. Great weather for pigs. Keeps them happy. And produces us more pork. Hopefully down the road. With that, yeah, I'm gonna keep this one here for pigs as well. It's just by the butcher. It makes a bit sense to me to keep them together. Yeah. And let's just see how much we make out of that. It's actually really necessary that we do this, because for a population of this size, the fishery just doesn't work anymore. You know, we don't have any fish in stock, and my people also cannot be upgraded anymore because we lack the meats. So we only have the forage goods right now, animal produce, that's eggs, but meats is missing, right? So that's fish. Only a handful of people actually get supplied with the fish. So it's important that we produce now pork in a sizable manner, so that we, yeah, have our butcher working now, the sausage. We'll just see if one butcher is enough. If it's not, then we'll just add a second one. The salt is already coming in quite a huge, yeah, quantity. Just really cool to think that this single salt mine here in Mandlach is supporting Sleepy Hollow with sausages and, yeah, solving our supply issue for meat in the big town. I love it. I love how this all works together. By the way, in Mandlach, we do have quite a bit of workforce right now. Food is fine. And yeah, we do have those burgages here now where people moved in. So we can also start now adding something to it, like a chicken coop. It's very close to the center, so I would actually prefer this area here to not be fully farming or so. Let's have an apiary there. And these here will be then artisans, because you're going to need artisans here as well. These guys outside have moved in. They can be vegetable, chicken, and chicken. Do have a lot of chicken. It's fine though, because we need a lot of eggs. And you get the chicken meat out of it, which is important too. What better way to celebrate Mandlach's rise to power again than building a church? There is the rubble of the wooden church. The question is, do we want to have the wooden church right here? No, I don't. So we're not going to rebuild this one. And we're rather going to build our own church. And in fact, I would like to build it like so. Because with this, we have a bit of room here available. First of all, to add a shrine. Somewhere here. And second of all, to grow this market area a bit further over here, right? So that all of this here comes together. It also gives me a bit more room here to develop more burgages. But we have room available. And we shouldn't grow so fast anyway. So I'm not gonna build any further or any more burgages for now. Cold, who's freezing? We got enough firewood though. So they just need to get it. Yeah, let's have a quick look at my marketplace. Yeah, full capacity as expected. Let's go ahead and add another one to the granary and another one to the storehouse. So this small market area here is growing now, supplying all of my people then here. Resources stolen. Salt was stolen from these bandits. Now we got a new target. I haven't taken care of them yet. Now we can do it. Let's rally the troops. We got enough archers as a backup, just in case there's another attack coming. You know, we got, oh, spear militia full already. Can we get another one? Yeah, very good. Got 40 spear units now and 70 archers. That's a lot. In fact, I don't even need to flank. My retinue is strong enough to take them on single-handedly, it seems. And yeah, let's just loot that bandit camp to take care of this problem once and for all. Where are you going? Another bandit camp sighted. Wait a second. This one goes to my nearest town, regional wealth. And bandit camp. Oh, also lots of resources were stored again that we looted out of this. So they looted all of this in the past. Bandit camp. There's a new one popping up, but outside of my territory, right? No problem with that. And let's get them back home. Very good. Have it all cleaned up. And the sausage is in. 4 sausage we have. Coming out of the pork. Very good. This leads now to hopefully meats being also fulfilled very soon for a sizable amount of my people. And yeah, actually do lack the workforce. Very surprised with that. No, we don't. It was just a visual bug. We have enough peeps. I would like to add another family to the granary and another family to my storehouse again. That means more market stalls coming up here. 2 more. But also more supply. Pretty sure, yeah, I'm gonna need another butcher. Pork is also not in that quantity though, so we need more pig farms and more butchers. Royal tax increased to almost 400 annually, but we get 5,000 in the treasury, taxing now both territories, so that's enough money coming in for the moment. And we need more we need more houses soon. I guess I could develop this area now, closing in on those farms now, so that's another house here. 2 more. 2 more, very good. And then also on the back of it, a bunch more here. Together with their backyard for more piggies. Alright, let's seriously work now on the castle, and with that we are gonna ramp up here the stone production at Mandlach. So the order has been given. Cut out as much stone as you need. The Lord demands it, because we need a proper home finally for Sleepy Hollow to, yeah, accommodate my family, my household, my servants. And in this case, we need a lot of, not rubblestone, but we still need a lot of, not the rubblestone, what's the other one? The rough stone, right? The rough stone that we need to then get into the dressed stone. And for this, we also need to make sure that the pack station is properly working. So we got the family here transporting already. Very good. They're in Sleepy Hollow right now, coming down from it with another successful trade, hopefully. And, I mean, should we give them a horse? Can I give them a horse? Thomas is waiting. So in this case, they should have it already. Let's order another horse for better trading. Wool comes in out of that. We got 136 wool now in Mandlach. Now. What should we do with that excess? It's gonna clog up my storage sooner or later if we don't do anything with that wool there, right? So a weaver is the right choice because the wool is far less valuable than the weaver. And we do have enough workforce, you know, workforce comes in all the time. And I don't care about workforce. I don't have to pay them anything really. There's no maintenance cost. So let's just get me my weaver going, and I'm gonna have this one here in the industry zone, right? And get this rolling for us, because this opens up then a new trade for me that I can quickly go ahead with. So the wool is valuable 2 coin, and the yarn is, let's establish that trade route here, 4. Very nice. Let's export it twice as much. Let's make a minimum stock of 20, so that we have a bit for further development or further crafting. And I think one family should be fine. And with this, Mandlach gets even richer, sending the stone to Sleepy Hollow, ultimately getting yarn out of that for money. Okay, got 4 families now fully working here. There it is, my gold, the rough stone. What kind of lord would I be if I do not visit the quarry, the place of demise, myself, and see how they're cutting it out? Probably also selecting a very few for my own personal use. With a beautiful toilet in the manor house, for example. That's just really cool. We can even fly. We are very powerful indeed. Let's happily dance around the quarry and wait for the stone to come in. Now look how fast my soldiers can be when we're rallying them right in Mandlach. And they're even starting with full, actually not quite full, but quite a lot of stamina. Reason for that is that raiders have been sighted in the forests near Mandlach, and there they are. Because you can't see them when they're in the forest, right? The game is very, very nasty about this. It's more than just this guy here, right? There they are. Look at that. Coming out of the forests. Another massive attack on Mandlach is about to start. This time around, though, we have the soldiers. We have the soldiers ready for a bit of battling. And the retinue is the slowest, but that's fine. Let's actually rally. They should actually go for my soldiers right away. Let's speed this up. There they are. Gonna block them there. Very good. Already dying. They don't care about formation or anything like that. These dogs. And they were really surprised, I think, to see such a force now in Mandlach that is protecting our territory. Because we have, of course, doubled our military force since the last attack. Rightfully so. And they really have no chance. There's even my reinforcements not even in. And we've already defeated them. I think that's it, right? Yeah. Oh no, there's more. These guys coming back again. And there's more coming out of the forest. Out of the woods. ready to be slaughtered. Unfortunately, it would be unethical to use them for my sausages. I'm not even bothering with my retinue, I guess. I just love how he actually just ran. Poor trader. And the cool thing is about this, that I'm actually getting influence out of protecting myself, right? So that's free influence coming in. And once they have been defeated here, there you go. Get another 400 influence, pushing us to 2,900 now. There is another one coming out. And as I said, they're not the smartest bunch. I mean, do not underestimate them. Just check out for flanks. But my retinue is securing my left flank there. Against them. Down again, another 300 influence. Pushing us to 3-2. And I think that's it, right? Gonna keep them just a little while longer. The problem is, of course, that's my workforce here standing around. So I should not keep them up too long. And in fact, I might actually just get them back now. At least these guys here, because even if the bandits are coming back, we should be fine with the ones that we have. So let's disband them. Immediately, the great hike starts up to Sleepy Hollow. And what is also so fascinating about this game that I really, really love, I mean, just first of all, look at that beautiful cloud forming up there. Rendered in real time. That is just amazing, really. And also, all of them have their own name, right? Their own family, their own work. So all of them are simulated. And this is just so unique, I think. There's not that many city builders that do so many things in realism, right? Without faking assets or something like that. But really, just simulated objects, simulated clouds. That's the beauty of this game. Alright, now we have it. Now everything is ready for our big castle replanning. And for this, well, we gotta look at the terrain here real quick. Because what we notice is that we are having a bit of an incline here up to this ridge, up to this crest up here. Up to this point there really, which is the highest point in this running area. So this is of course where I would like to have the main castle situated. And for this we need to move this over. And as you can see, we're just moving the whole castle area with it. This is, I think, a really cool system. So I can just use this. We're gonna get rid of the wall here. Alright, like so. Get the tax office with us. And then we're trying to make this work here with that one up top together with our garrison tower, which is this one here. Let's try to make this so. Shouldn't this snap? There was a moment when it actually snapped to this one here. I don't know why it doesn't snap now. I can also build only one, right? You're limited to only just one per region. And this one increases your maximum retinue size then as well by 12. So that means, yeah, we can have twice the heavy armored soldiers that we had previously. So in this case here, there it is. Now it's snapping for some reasons. Only now. Now we have the tax office, and also now we need to get going with the walls. And let's start with, I guess we're still going to have the wall around it, right? Even though, of course, I know we have the... Can I build it like so? Oh yeah, I can. Very good. Even though we have the cliffs here, I'm still going to have a wall there. You never know what drunken soldiers are up to, really. And then I'm trying to make this one a bit curvy there. There you go. Right. Having this one going down here. All the way over here. Very good. No problems so far. No crashes. No collision control. Nothing. And then we're just going up here again to this one. Right. There. Now, of course, this is not it so far. So I'm gonna move this one again, because I would like to have an inner wall as well, right? Something that starts kind of like over there and goes then around the inner castle area as well. Perfect. There's a collision. Why? Yes. Oh, this would be tricky. Can we? This is a collision. This is strange. It doesn't once again clip with it, which it should. Actually, here it clips, but then you cannot build it. Okay, let's try to make it like so. And then I'm gonna add another one here. Ah, that's also not possible. This is an interesting problem. This is definitely a bit of a bug. Okay, this works actually, right? We're not clipping into it, but we're as close as possible, so no one will be able to move through that. In fact, next in line, I do need to have, of course, a proper road. And as you can see, the gates are being then created automatically in the most hideous way possible. So we'll need to move this again and just see. The problem is, here's the node, right? So that's why, that's the problem I'm facing here right now. Let's actually move it a bit further over. You need to move the nodes so that you have a good alignment of it. Actually, better. Now we have the right shapes with the inner castle and the outer castle. The outer castle will have then also its tax office. Unfortunately, the tax office doesn't have a second layer, but now something really cool happens, and let's just see if we have hopefully all the resources for that. We can upgrade it. Hooray, there it is. 128 for the half of the outer wall. Very good. So with this, we have now the main wall that we can build here. There you go. This looks much cleaner. And now we have this one. I could commit this construction already. We're gonna clip this together. And now we can hopefully also, there you go, upgrade the two inner buildings. We can still afford all of that so far. And look at this. It's a nice one. The question is, should we have it? Oh no. Okay, we cannot push it any further, I think, because we do have then... Yeah, we do have then the cliffs here, right? So pushing it further actually leads this one here to being a bit boggy, it seems. Funnily enough, now with the stone, we can actually clip it into the other stone wall, right? Now it works kind of like for both of them. This is still looking a bit strange. I want to have it nice curved here. Right. Oh, yep. Okay. We don't have any towers yet, bear me, because I would like to finish the main building first, and then we're going to add the towers. And then we have, of course, our tax office here somewhere. And I have no idea what we could build here, right? We cannot build the tax office a second time. I also cannot build the garrison tower a second time. So hopefully there's another building then being added to this. This is going to be expensive, right? 260 stone. And yeah, let's commit. Hopefully the game does not crash now. And there it is. Manor house, castle under construction. This will take a long time to finish. We might add even more families to the whole thing. So I'm gonna reduce the workforce that we have in other areas. Like the windmill, you don't need to eat anything. And shortly after, the construction workers are coming along. Taxes are coming in, 200 per month right now, which is great. And in this case here, June it is. So this will probably take the whole year. Right? I will not take the whole year, but it will take some time. They're still also cleaning up the old place. And there it is, our glorious castle. Actually, it only took 4 months to construct. And now, yeah, now we have a place to live, ladies and gents. Now up here, this is where I reside, my living rooms. And having a beautiful, beautiful view over the whole valley in front of us. The lake down there, especially now in autumn, it's fantastic. And we can just enjoy that, and also enjoying the security of two beautiful stone walls protecting us from any kind of danger. And just below us, look at that. Ooh, we have the cliffs. I like this. I like this a lot. All right. Now we just need the towers. Let's go ahead into the castle planner once again and get me my towers going. And we're probably going to add one in the inner one, right? And out here. This is... I wonder if we can actually afford them. That's the question. Right here. And... oh, this causes now a ruckus. Down here. Let's get rid of it again. That tower disrupted the wall just now. Okay, let's have it clipped together again, please. There you go. Alright, let's try it again. Huh, alright. Doing it the second time also doesn't work. Alright, and there it is in all its glory. Construction is finished. I've actually had to reload because if you add the towers afterwards, it is in fact a bit cheaper than changing it after the construction is finished. It's way more expensive. One thing, I just love the look of this. Totally, right? So this is how it's supposed to look. A beautiful castle with an inner court, an outer court, and of course also lots of towers. I would love more assets, of course. One thing that you'll notice is, before I get the comments, I just have to say this right away because I know I'm going to get the comments for this. Yes, those towers are looking outside, right? So their entrance is on the outside. There is a bug right now that absolutely prohibits me to let them build looking towards the inner side. I cannot rotate them for the life of me. Even if I rebuild the whole wall with looking towards the inner side, I just can't get this right. It seems, perhaps it has something to do with the cliffs here. I don't know, but for some reasons I cannot rotate the wall to look inwards, and with that also the towers inwards. It's just not possible for me. I've tried it several times, but since there's no real siege mechanic in this game, I'm gonna live with it because, yeah, the aesthetics please me. And really, I've spent a lot of time now because the castle mechanic, unfortunately, at this point is really not fleshed out and also quite buggy. But it's finished. The looks, that's what counting. I've got the Lord's Castle finished. Finally, we do have a proper home to store all the taxes. And also to have vagabonds not coming in. I mean, strategically, look at that. It's really... Can we actually jump up there? No, we can't. It would be funny. So let's enter because you can actually go through that, which is just beautiful. And in here, then, funnily enough, the inner wall did not have that problem, right? It's really beautiful. This game just shines with its graphics. And I'm just hoping that they're iron out all these bugs then with future updates. They really absolutely should. It's their responsibility. Because there's just no other city builder like this. And it would be a shame if they don't work on that. But I'm pretty sure they are. And yeah, with that, got ourselves a nice castle now overlooking Sleepy Hollow. I'm sure bandits will not attack anymore. Also, look from far away. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. I hope you enjoyed this one, the castle building. This is pretty much the pinnacle of this city here. And we do have a bunch of other problems that appeared now out of the castle that we are, yeah, tackling in the next episode then. The visuals stay. We can always have a look at it. And with that, onwards to the next episode. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.